Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. Likes, comments, and subscribes are always appreciated. Let's jump right into it. It says, for those of you not looking at the screen, Bitcoin and Ethereum consolidate. Zcash and Celsius rally. Once again, get ready for a very weird news day. I'm not sure what's in the air, but the last 3 or 4 days ago within the cryptocurrency space have been extremely weird. Like from front to back, nothing actually is making a lot of sense. This says technical analysis, Bitcoin price holds support. Why Bitcoin might attempt a fresh increase. There's a lot of mixed signals going on within the cryptocurrency space right now. Prices yesterday were pumping quite hard. You can even see on the 7-day charts exactly how much further along than we previously were before. But for some reason, Bitcoin had trouble, and I use air quotes there because it's not really trouble. It's people behind the scenes who are manipulating the market. Trouble passing by $24,000, and for some reason that seemed to have halted the rest of the movement, because the numbers we were getting before was that Bitcoin had to pass by $24,000, and Ethereum, it was $1,800, which Ethereum did pass by $1,800, but then Bitcoin began to fall a tiny bit. It's nothing dramatic. It's not by 15%. It's like 0.5% to 1%. But it was still a movement downward that caused a lot of other coins to also move down as well. It says Ethereum nears $1,800 as demand continues to surge. This has been evident over the last couple of weeks once we got the actual date. As it looks like right now, at least from the perspective of us hearing consistently from the developers, it looks like the 19th of September is still going to be the actual date. Normally, we would not have, and I'll put it to you this way. A lot of times the developers would have given us some kind of hint. Don't look forward to X date. But as of right now, they're all talking openly. Even Vitalik Buterin, we saw that a couple days ago, and he's doing it every day now as well. He says that he doesn't believe that the merge is actually even priced in. He thinks that the price, looking at it, is still too low for what's to actually come. And he thinks that the full, not support, what's the word? The full range of prices will be revealed after the merge has happened and people realize the scarcity, the coin burn, how much activity is happening. And that's why we're seeing all those $5,000 Ethereums. I've been seeing a lot of people talking about a $13,000 Ethereum sometime next year. And it's like, let's get past $3,000 first, because, you know, going from 3,000 or even hitting 3,000 right now seems to be difficult in some sort of way. It says Bitcoin price is still on course to hit $100,000. This was said by the Bloomberg analyst Mike McGlone. It's very popular. Everyone's still talking about it. Everyone thinks it's eventually going to happen. It appears as if one of the main hindrances, if not the only one, appears to be the Federal Reserve and inflation and all this other stuff that's currently going on. But nearly every single coin had very optimistic price news in some sort of way. It says Shiba Inu forms its third consecutive bullish candle after a long time. This was kind of across the board for nearly every single coin at the moment. So it's nice to kind of see that. Tying into where usually correlated with the news, the stock markets around the world have kind of been not doing too well, especially over the last 24 hours. I think apparently today and tomorrow, we're supposed to be receiving some type of job data once again. You know, how many people have jobs, how many new jobs were created, you know, have job numbers gone up or down, kind of the idea. There was also a mention by somebody in the Federal Reserve, it wasn't Jerome Powell, about that they think that there should be more interest rate rises until we get inflation back down to like 2 or 3%. I don't think that's really how it's going to work, especially like we would need like a 10% interest rate at that point, because that's not going to explicitly stop people from whatever. But apparently it's major news right now. For those of you not looking at the screen, it says Asian stocks wobble as focus turns to U.S. inflation data and the Fed outlook. So basically, I think it's tomorrow. Tomorrow's meant to be the day where we get, I think, the last of, I'm not sure. I keep seeing Wednesday as the date of job data. If things are looking okay, if we get positive news, it would mean that the Federal Reserve would not then have to aggressively raise rates higher. However, if job data is down and people haven't found jobs and earning reports aren't as good as they were before, well, therefore, then the Fed may announce that they're going to raise interest rates again. But for some reason, it says stocks slip as caution reigns ahead of U.S. inflation data. So I keep seeing Wednesday as the date for it. We've seen historically before, just being on the channel, the day before something or like major news comes out is usually when the stock market goes into red. Everyone's lost and confused and doesn't know what's going on. It's the first time this is ever happening. We get an indication if it's good or bad, and typically the stock market ends up going up anyway because it's like a relief of the news being over with. That's all the price news. There wasn't a huge amount of it. I think it's mainly because on the 7-day charts, you see that prices have gone up, but the 24-hour and the 1-hour charts, nothing is really changed or unchanged. A lot of coins are up by 1%. Some are down by 1%. There doesn't seem to be like an actual direction. But it was nice to see that once again, at least all the information or the articles for cryptocurrency prices were relatively optimistic. I'm still looking for the actual movement, like proper movement in price for Ethereum for the upgrade, which should drag the rest of the market up with it. But once again, we are still 42 days away, so I guess that, we might not see it until like the last 20 or so when the hype kind of actually kicks in. Yeah, that's all the price news. And without further ado, let's move on. In very popular news today, and I'm going to tell you why it's popular and why the news is what it is. Dogecoin's price rallied a bit on the news that Mark Cuban had come out in support of Dogecoin. I think at some point he was talking about if Cardano was a company similar to, the things that he talks about on Shark Pool or whatever the name of the TV show is, that he would not buy it. But he would buy Dogecoin because Dogecoin seems to be so much more better than whatever. For those of you who have forgotten, and I know many people did, it's not your fault. It happens all the time. The only reason why Mark Cuban is doing this is because he's looking for popularity and he's looking for some time in the spotlight within the cryptocurrency space. Nearly every single hyper millionaire, so not just 1 million, but over 100, 200, 300 million dollars and or billionaires are very desperate. They constantly want attention, and Mark Cuban is no different. Mark Cuban before, for those of you who have completely forgotten, came out in like hyper support of Bitcoin. But the issue was that no one actually cared. For those of you who also forgot that as well, Mark Cuban also came out in complete support of Ethereum. You want to know the issue? Is that no one actually cared. So Mark Cuban is basically following what Elon Musk has been doing for quite a long amount of time, because don't forget, once again, you can look back at the articles. Elon Musk once also loved Bitcoin, but no one actually cared. And the rumors that were behind the scenes is that allegedly he had gone to the people at Blockstream to try and get them to basically hand him over the code, or so that he would have full control over Bitcoin and the upgrades and things happening on it. And allegedly the news that we got was, in the long ago, was that they told him, no, that's not how Bitcoin works. You can't have control over the project. And more so, it has to be like a network consensus as to what happens on the actual blockchain. That's when about a month or two later, Elon Musk actually ended up going, allegedly, so we heard through the news. We've all gone through this. I do daily videos. Allegedly, the news was that he spoke to the team at Dogecoin and was asking them, hey, for some level of control for the project and maybe to be able to hype it up. Allegedly, once again, stuff all we heard on the internet. And then he came out in full support of Dogecoin. He's been talking about how Dogecoin is a better payment method than Bitcoin, or Dogecoin can do so many more things. So when Mark Cuban said out loud that he would not be buying Cardano, he would rather buy Dogecoin, it has something to do with like usability or some other, and it's like, shut up. You people have no idea what you're talking about. You're just looking for fame and celebrity. You already own most of the money on the planet, and all you're desperate to try and do is to not only gain more money, but to gain more popularity in the space that you have absolutely no control over. It's exhausting, and I'm tired of seeing it every single day. What was the other guy? Remember, what was this guy's name? He used to have that ad in between videos where it's him in his small garage with those two cars, and he would hold up the camera. He's like, hey, look at the two cars I got. What's that guy's name? Someone said it out loud. I don't remember his name. That one. Him. He also tried the same exact thing a couple of years ago. They think it's because it's a space where there's tons of money involved that they also need to be involved in, that they need some kind of popularity. So expect in the future that Mark Cuban is just going to be completely for Dogecoin, unless that ends up not working out for him as well. But this was actually quite popular news. It's popular because Dogecoin is a meme. Not a lot of people were into Dogecoin before. It has gained a huge amount of popularity. A lot of people think that it's eventually going to hit $1. And if you can do it on the backs of other celebrities and you end up getting rich from it, well, then you end up loving those celebrities. And this is kind of what they're basically looking for. So once again, don't forget, and this is why I love the internet, because all the information is right there. All these people have consistently come out in support of other coins, but when it doesn't work out for them, they usually end up going to Dogecoin. And for actual reference, Dogecoin is not better than Cardano in nearly any single way. And it's just from like an actual numbers perspective. We know that Cardano has hundreds of projects built on top of it. They have NFT support. They have smart contract support. They're waiting for the other upgrade. Cool, amazing, fantastic. Dogecoin has like maybe one of those things. It does not have hundreds of projects on it. It does not have its own other stablecoin NFT DeFi networks on it. The support team said that they're going to be building all of these things, but as of right now, the coin is still hyperinflationary. Look at how much Dogecoin is created per minute. No, it's not better than Cardano. It might be at some point. This is a very weird space. Development happens at odd times and in through weird ways. So at some point in the next 3 years, it could be. But objectively, like right now, the actual numbers of it, no, it's not. He's looking for attention, and don't fall into that trap of following these people simply because they have money and you want to be them. That's the Mark Cuban news. And yeah, let's move on. Also in the news that I didn't know this even was a thing. Apparently Shiba Inu is getting their own video game. A screenshot of Discord conversations between Shiba Inu lead developers, known only as Shaitoshi Kusama, okay, and members of the community, shared by Gossip Shib on Twitter today, revealed new details about the direction of the Shiba Inu card collection game called Shiba Eternity. And then apparently they were talking about how it's going to be amazing and spectacular and super strategic. For some reason, this was like relatively popular news, but for some reason, the thing that everyone focused on was that someone said super strategic. Who cares? Why is that the reason why everyone's like clamoring over this information today? It doesn't make a lot of sense. I would find it more interesting, the idea of a Shiba Inu video game on top of Shiba Inu that would use Shiba Inu as the actual currency. Is that what's going on? I can't really tell because all the news just focused on literally someone. Look at this. It says super strategic. Who cares? I don't care about that. Why is that the thing about it? Why was this news? Why was this popular news? Why was this floating around? So anyway, hopefully at some point we're going to get more. What's wrong with people? Why is this the popular part? We're going to get more news on this because apparently this was a leak chat. Allegedly, someone was in a private chat or group chat and someone took a screenshot of it and then leaked it to the rest of us. So now we know that there's a video game. We know that it's going to be super strategic and that it is based off of Shiba Inu. And apparently the developers don't care about the price. They just care about super strategic. Really? That's the Shiba Inu news. Let's see what ends up happening with the coin, the project. They also have like 9 other things going on as well. They have the Bone coin, they have Leash coin. I think there's a Dig coin. They also have their own stable coin coming out. So get it. You do what you need to do. That's the Shiba Inu news. This was the popular news story of the day. I'm telling you, find other articles about this, and they're all going to have super strategic in it. All right, let's move on. Institutions are still flocking to Ethereum for 7 weeks straight as the merge nears. I think it's Glassnode. I don't remember. One of the analytics companies has announced that for 7 weeks straight, they've seen an immense amount of money flowing into institutional grade products like ETFs, what have you, so on and so forth, that all have to do with Ethereum, basically off the idea that as the merge nears, they want more money in the market. We've been getting news like this for quite a while now. So, but this was also popular news. Like, this is actually, really cool for the market and I guess the background news. But a lot of times also don't forget that a lot of these coins are also being bought up over the counter. It's not just Bitcoin that's being bought up over the counter, but it's also like, oh, that's cool. Well, that's making a lot of sense. I wonder, no. I was going to say I wonder about the space, which I do. But I think a large part of it actually does have to do with the other just with the macro events. Because our market should be moving just in general. I've gone over that before. I'm not going to jump back into it. But it's always a little weird getting such good news and knowing that billionaires and millionaires are buying not just Mark Cuban, but like actual institutions. The same exact thing with Grayscale. But not Grayscale, BlackRock. There we go. But then the prices don't end up moving. I was just talking to somebody like 2 days ago about that. I was like, it's so weird that you get the actual news, because years ago it was just speculation. It was nothing but speculation. And now that we get the actual news, prices just kind of trend sideways. So yeah, institutions are still buying tons of Ethereum. Because once again, it'll be the only way to create it in the future. So yeah, let's move on. I told you the news is really all over the place today. There was no actual concrete news. You know how we normally get Cardano's turning 5 years old network, yay, and they have an upgrade. It was just out of weird, odd news today. Also in the news, apparently during the Ripple/SEC court case, Ripple was asking the SEC to unlock a couple of videos so that they can hear exactly what the SEC members said as to why SEC is a security. Basically asking for evidence. Hey, we're all in this courtroom. Tell us, why are we a security? And it took the SEC 5 days to respond back with a one-line response that basically said NO. And a lot of people are up in arms about that. Apparently something else happened and all these other things. And I would love to live in a world, and this is worldwide, and I mean it's not just in the US. From what I've learned from other friends who are from other parts of the world, and having been in other parts of the world, this is not just the US. I would love if regulators actually regulated and simply weren't corrupt pieces of garbage. I mean that just explicitly. I think we'd live in a much better world if the regulators actually cared and wanted a better society. I think even monetary wise, we'd be in a whole different place if greed wasn't always the main thing. If you are taking the people from Ripple into a courtroom and saying you've done A, B, and C, show them proof that they've done A, B, and C so that you can win the court case. By you not showing them that you have proof of what you're claiming that they did, you look more terrible than you were before. Apparently, it took them 5 days. It took the SEC 5 days to write back a one-sentence line that said no. So this was also quite popular news. I assume there's also, I don't have a lot of it in these videos in particular. I see them as I'm skimming through the news. There's a huge movement within the CFTC as well, the Commodities Futures Trading Commission. Basically, people also coming out in opposition of the SEC saying that they're doing too much. They're overreaching. There's no actual code or language that says exactly how far the SEC can go. So they're desperately trying to get control over the entire cryptocurrency space. And the problem with this is that I think the SEC has 5 times as much funding as the CFTC, and they probably have a lot more backing on their side. So once again, hold your breath for this, like actually hold your breath, because part of the problem is that if the SEC somehow wins this lawsuit, they're going to go after every other coin. Not some of them, every other coin, because the head of the SEC and the other guy also said that they believe that every coin in the market is a security, and they're going to go after every single one of them. So, why would you not show the evidence? Like, that's the part that I don't get. Hey, I saw him take a candy bar from the front of the register. Can you prove it? Yes, I have video on my phone. Why would you not, in the entire way, like the judge has to keep forcing them to like unseal documents? That's the terrible SEC news. And once again, like I said, it's not just the US, because I can only imagine the other levels of corruption that we simply just don't know about. I was watching something yesterday about how, for those of you who don't know, Venice is sinking. Like literally, like Venice is going underwater. They have terrible floods, and it keeps getting worse and worse every single year. And they were talking about how they had, it was like 20 years ago, they started efforts to make ways to, you know, not have as much water. They have these like gigantic shields, I don't know what, like barriers to stop the water from coming in. And it's taken 20 years because they found out about 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago that the mayor and everyone else around him was stealing billions of dollars worth of funds from it. Like, why? Why not just be a good person? It's free. It's actually free just to be a good person, to help other people. Why go out of your way to be terrible? It doesn't make any sense. That's the SEC versus Ripple news, because it's in the news every single day. So much for, remember when we got news in March that this would be over with in April? Ha 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 ha. That's the Ripple news. Moving along. Also in super, like this was really popular news. Coca-Cola has apparently unveiled an NFT collection on Polygon, and everyone's going insane talking about, wow, I can't believe it. This is the first time that anyone has ever made an NFT, and it's Coca-Cola. That's a major brand. How did they end up doing that? I can't believe it. Everyone, is this milk? What is this carton? Is this a real thing? For those of you who don't know, I don't drink soda. Too much sugar. Is this what the box is? This looks terrible. And it has like the little curve, so you have a grip as well. This looks awful. That's the worst thing I've ever seen. The point is, Coca-Cola has launched an NFT on Polygon, and everyone can't believe that this has happened. So they're trying to buy them, and it's so significant. But once again, the internet's a wonderful thing. And once again, and I don't blame, if you're not into this kind of world, I don't blame you for not knowing. Coca-Cola has NFTs on Vivi and has had them for like half a year, almost a year now. They released these like rotating cans. They released the animated bear snow globe. If you were younger and ever watched the commercials, you remember like the bear living near Santa's house and no one being afraid of it and him drinking Coca-Cola. Yeah, they released that as well. They also released like the snow globes with the this has already happened. It's on Vivi. But a lot of people, once again, they may not know about Vivi, but I think at some point you're going to have to learn, because they have all the actual partnerships with the mega companies. So like a lot of times there have been other NFT releases from companies and everyone's like, whoa, I can't believe this. And then you realize that Vivi has already done it. So the news is Coca-Cola is releasing their second edition of NFTs, this time on Polygon. If you want the first editions, they're on VV. Not affiliated in it. By the way, for those of you who did not know, I'm not being paid by VV. Please stop trying to make drama on the internet happen. Every time that I talk about something, someone's like, well, TMI is being paid. I'm not. I promise you, I'm not being paid by these companies. It's just simple logic. Logic and numbers mean so much to me, and apparently to very few other people on the planet. VV already did it. This was one of the most popular news stories of the day, that Coca-Cola, this gigantic company, is releasing NFTs on Polygon. That's cool, but they already did it on VV first. So, which one wins then? That's the Coca-Cola NFT news. Let's move on. Also in the news, and I'm going to try and sound as nice as possible for this one. For those of you who have not understood what's going on and are not looking at the screen, it says Circle, the people who make the stablecoin, have frozen blacklisted Tornado Cash smart contract addresses. I'm going to explain. Tornado Cash, what's the other one? They're multiple. This is not the only one. There are platforms, so you might have never heard of dirty coins before, and also clean coins. The idea is, and I'll put it to you as quick as possible, let's say a Bitcoin comes out of the network. Boop, there's the Bitcoin. The person who mined it has it. He gives it to his friend. He sells it to someone else. Person C sells it to person D. At some point, person D decides, hey, I want to do something evil or nefarious, and they end up purchasing something bad on the interwebs with it. Cool. Person E now has it, and because that transaction has happened and it's linked to something bad and or illegal, I'm using air quotes here on the internet because that's very subjective. By the time it gets to person H and authorities get wise to what happened between D and E, they then blacklist those coins or say that those coins are dirty. They don't know who has the coins now, but they know that at some point it was tied to something that was illegal or that should not have happened. Cool. That coin then becomes dirty. This is actually how it works. And the problem is that sometimes those dirty coins can't get put onto a cryptocurrency exchange. They actually get rejected and sent back to the original address saying, hey, we can't have it on here because the coin is dirty. This is a very real thing. Or you have the new coin that comes out of the cryptocurrency Bitcoin mining equipment, person A, and he puts it directly onto a cryptocurrency exchange, and that coin is clean. So based on the amount of transactions that a coin actually has, a lot of people value, there's a weird premium on coins that have just come out of the machine compared to those that have been around for 13 years and maybe have 45,000 transactions because one of those 45,000 transactions might have been tied to something dirty. I know the cryptocurrency space is very stupid, but this is how it works because of regulation. So a lot of people created websites similar, or dApps or whatever they actually might be, doesn't matter, similar to something called Tornado Cash, where imagine you and 1,000 other. So remember those game shows from the 1990s where someone would step into a box and all the money would fly into the air and they're trying to grab as much as possible? Imagine that. It's you and 1,000 people standing around. You all have literal dirty money. If something happened before you were holding the dollar bill, you all put it into this box. It shuffles the whole thing around and you dig inside and you can take out your own dollar. It's not the same dollar that you had before. There's no way for it to be the same dollar that you had before. That's the idea of Tornado Cash and all these other things, these mixers, these coin mixers as they call them. So the idea is, if you are trying to send money somewhere or simply obfuscate or hide your transactions or where the money came from before, you would use a service like this in a usually decentralized manner to make sure that you are essentially, in air quotes, getting a brand new coin that had nothing to do with your previous transactions. Maybe you simply want a clean slate. Who knows exactly what's going on? I'm not here to judge. The issue, air quotes, is that governments don't like this. They already don't care for cryptocurrencies because you have control over your own money, your own assets. They offer higher annual percentage yields than the government could ever actually give you. But the last couple of years, these tornado mixer services have become quite popular for whatever reason, and governments can't track these transactions as easily as they normally would on a blockchain. So, see, I had to give you the entire story beforehand. One government, I don't know who did this, has said that Tornado Cash allegedly is one of the worst things on the planet, and it's bad for security, like government security and world security, and therefore they have to ban it. Right. Finally, we got to the point that's on the screen. Now, Circle, the company who made the stablecoin, announced, I think it's U.S. sanctions, more than likely, U.S. sanctions everything, announced that Tornado Cash is terrible, and Circle was like, cool, bro, we got your back. And they have sanctioned a whole bunch of other wallets that were holding coins that looked like that they had at some point touched Tornado Cash. Everyone still with me? Awesome. So now a lot of people are upset that Circle had done this because they're like, decentralization. I thought you were down for the cause. They're not. These are companies. I don't. When we talk about actual decentralization, there are very few companies in this space who actually care. And I dare even say there's maybe only one or two, and maybe 1.5. And that's like from like Bitcoin because of how decentralized it actually is, and maybe Ethereum. Everything else in the space is a company. There's no Ethereum headquarters, but we know that Vitalik Buterin and Joseph Lubin are basically the heads of the dragon. That's why it said half. But even then, they don't come up with all the ideas or all the other things. For the point is, Circle's a company, the same as every other company. I tried warning people, and I know that even after this video is done, no one's going to actually care. The space is going to become very corrosive because all the other companies that already rule the world are already in the cryptocurrency space. Me screaming, oh my gosh, BlackRock is in the space, is because they're going to buy all the crypto and you will have none for yourself. Circle as a company, regardless if they say that they are decentralized or not, of course they're able to freeze accounts the same exact way that many other stable, if not all of them, are also able to freeze accounts. Remember years ago, even months ago, whenever some company freezes withdrawals or freezes so-and-so or says you can't have your money or something on a platform happens, like even, people are shocked. But it's my money. I don't understand. How are you able to do this? Years ago, people understood the mantra of Bitcoin and being able to do with your money as you so please. And they were putting their coins onto Coinbase, and Coinbase was freezing their accounts. And they were messaging Coinbase, dude, decentralization, you can't do that. You can't freeze Bitcoin. It's on their system. They're a centralized entity. If you don't know what decentralization actually is, please go look it up. Apparently, the Tornado Cash co-founder has also been kicked off of GitHub. People are turning on him. Why? He was using a service that many of you were probably using before. He did not freeze your money. It's the US government. Have we not been through this before? I really don't understand how people don't know what a tree is or what dirt is or what a strawberry is. Anyway, this was also very popular news. A lot of people are completely shocked by this and all these other things. Also, you're going to be very shocked when the next DeFi protocol collapses because we've had like 7 of those this year. And people keep forgetting that history rhymes, repeats itself, sings the same song over and over. So get ready for that one. I assume sometime around December because it keeps happening over and over and over. But yeah, so if you are shocked that if you put your coins in the faith of a crypto exchange or a company, that they have control over it, well, you know what, buddy? I actually have no idea what to tell you. This space is so weird. People really, like, you have to pay attention to everything that's happening. Like, you have money in this space. It's not simply put your money in, you become a millionaire. There's so many other levels to it, and I really don't get it. I don't think I ever will. It's like, whatever. All right. Very special thank you to my Patreon supporters: GBU Wally, Manny Cryptos, Crypto Gambino, Bubble Mode, How's Life Austin, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Jamie Saad, Blockchain Simplified, and Let's Move On, Empire Queen, Roman Gaber, Bitcoin, Ben Arachno, Dave, Tony, Ambroski, the dealers, and Captain Something in the Z-Way Lane, Mobarazi, VBNer, 21, Miguel Galay, Lawrence, Silver Quarter, Biddy, Troy, all good. Space, Casey, The Miracle, Panther, Nelson, Navarro, Williams, Utopia, 569, Moon, May, High, Extra, P, Martin, Story, Norma, John Sarson, the Anima, Rita, Bibliophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Wise 9, Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Cold D3D, Setsuna, Richie Rich III, Paxis, Nick Mann, Gialavodi, Jim Garner, Jamie Fox, Minting Coins, Yes to Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, Anytime Fitness, Mom's Corner Staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger, Macho Nisa, All Crypto with Lionel and Crayola, Michelle, URL. Thank you. Thank you very, very much for your continued support through these last 6 years, if you can believe it. Thank you to everyone who left a like, who left a comment, or who has subscribed. The 7-day charts look really good for a lot of the prices. The 1-hour charts, what have you, I think it's just part of the market movements. We'll see exactly when the stock market in the US opens, what's going to end up happening to the rest of the prices. Will we go down? Will we go up? Bitcoin is currently up by 4% in the last 7 days. Cardano is up by 11.9% in the last 7 days. Binance Coin is up by 16%. Polkadot is up by 16%. Avalanche is up by 24%. Polygon is up by 6%. Shiba Inu is up by 7%. Uniswap is up by 10. Ethereum Classic is up by 12% in the last week as well. Near Protocol is up by nearly 30% in the last week. Chainlink is up by 20% in the last week. Cosmos is up by 18%. Flow is still up by 62% just off of the news that they partnered with Disney. I think that 62% is absolutely out of control. Algorand is up by 12%. VeChain Thor is up by 18%. ApeCoin is up by 15% in the last week. Decentraland is up by 14% in the last week. Tezos is up by 11%. Theta is up by 13%. Quant is up by 26%. Elron eGold is up by 18% as well. And Zcash, there was no Zcash news and I don't know why. It's up by 27% in the last week. 9% in the last 24 hours. I found no news on it. It could simply, I don't know, here's a stretch. Maybe people were like, oh, we need actual private transactions, so let's go to Zcash. I can't figure out any other reason otherwise. These coins are barely listed on any other or many cryptocurrency exchanges because of their private transactions. But it was Zcash. It wasn't Dash. What was the other one? There was another private transaction coin a couple of weeks ago that was also going up in price. I don't remember. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all have a great day, great morning, great afternoon, great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. To hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, and or supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.